Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Spencer Tillis.
And I'm Giselle Espinales.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. In this week's episode, we see if Sussex Tech could come up with a big win, trying to stake their claim as one of the conference's top teams when they took on Dover.
And later, bring on the Sticks field hockey action over in Delaware as Sussex Tech looks to bring down Cape Henlopen.
And fourth-ranked Wesley football was back in action yesterday, but how did the Wolverines look when they had their homecoming game? Stick around to find out.
But we are starting your morning with a bowl full of Vikings, a battle of two undefeated teams, Cambridge South Dorchester facing Cape Henlopen. We started off the first half, Cape already with the lead, and it would keep climbing as Savon Scott keeps that one for the 2-yard touchdown, and they would get the 2-point conversion. Next play, and watch this one because even being out there, it confused me. Looks like Scott was going to throw it away, but makes a spectacular pass to Javon Curry for the 47-yard touchdown. They head into the locker room with a 21-7 lead. But don't count out Cambridge. Start of the third quarter, James Smith finds the hole and starts to outrun the entire Cape defense for the 95-yard kickoff return. And even with that, Cape Henlopen just continued to add on the points and take this one 35-14. You know what, Spencer? I jumped on the Cape Henlopen bandwagon in week 3 when they took on Cape Lower May, but every week this team continues to impress me even more. Just the plays that they make. When you think the other team is sneaking up behind them, they'll make a big play on defense, force fumbles, and get the ball right back and score. One word: perfection.
You are absolutely right. I mean, on both sides of the ball, whatever you look at, this team has been the most impressive one so far. As for Cambridge, I mean, there was no shame in this loss. I mean, I still think they're one of the best teams in the Bayside. They're going to challenge for that conference title moving forward. It is a disappointing one. I mean, it was at home, but I feel like they got a couple more games here coming up. They'll have a good chance to just bounce back, and I think this one, just put in the rearview mirror and move forward. Well, Laurel football was looking to stake their claim as a top team in the conference, too, when they took on Woodbridge, and this one ended up being a great game. Defensive battle here early on. Logan Westcott back to pass for the Blue Raiders, but a great play, and it's picked off by DeAndre Parker. Absolutely good adjustment right there to the ball. The Bulldogs, though, give it right back. Alan Lubinik back to pass. Bragg Davis steps in front. He takes it 21 yards the other way for the score. And then the play of the year so far, the Bulldogs back to punt, and Westcott waiting to receive. Breaks about 47 tackles right there, gets to the outside, makes 3 more guys miss, turns on the Jets, and that's 61 yards to the house. Absolutely ridiculous play right there. All the momentum in favor of the road team, but the Bulldogs fight their way back. Second quarter, and Lubinik going deep down the field finds Reginald Green right here. He takes it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Yermore Augusto would punch that thing in. The Bulldogs come storming back, and they take it 21-20 the final. And
wow.
It's getting really, really awkward and uncomfortable on this desk. I mean, every single week we sit here, and I've been probably the forefront of just ragging on this Laurel team and saying I didn't think they had it, and they just continually proved me wrong. And I think on this day, I just got to keep my mouth shut and just going to let their play speak for it and, tip of the cap. Good work.
It's true. Every week we get a tweet from Laurel's head coach, Glenn Phillips. And all right, let me put it like this. If we are considered the critics, Coach Phillips and the rest of the Bulldogs put us to rest, and for a good reason. What a win at the Dog Pound. Coach Phillips, I have no words. But I do have words for this next game, Polytech taking on Caesar Rodney. And since it's the month of October, plenty of teams out there wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Poly coaches are no different. They're supporting the cause. And now to the action. That quick play you saw there was Mike Cavalier, who punches it in less than 2 minutes into the game. Riders on the board first. But here come the Panthers. Jason Rigby to Tim Butler for the touchdown. The defender on his back, and he still makes it in and throws up the money side.
I like
it. All right, but the Riders, through controlling this game, Jordan Downs bursts off the left tackle for the 50-yard touchdown, and Caesar Rodney with a big win against Polytech, the final 42-15, and the Riders have every right to throw up the money sign, and I'll join them. A huge win for them. Their first of the season. The highest they have scored this season was 20 points. And on Friday night, to come out there and score 42 points, that's impressive. And the game was on the road for CR. Hats off to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talk about a shot in the arm, and one that was needed for that CR team. I mean, they were struggling through the first half of the season right there. They definitely needed to pull this one out, but what I like about it is they knew that. They responded in a big way. And you know what? That season, there's still something left to be played for. They're not done yet, so I think they got a chance. Hopefully, maybe if they turn it on, they can squeak things here, maybe even get back into the playoff picture. Well, Wahai was looking to snap their 2-game losing skid on Friday when they were back home taking on Queen Anne's. The Lions down 7-0 here early on when Bradley Harmon gets flushed from the pocket, that is, decides to call his own number, gets the edge, and dives for the pylon. It looks like a score, but he'd be called out at the 1. No matter. 2 plays later, Tommy Jones is able to punch that thing in. We're tied at 7s. Just before half, the Lions back on the attack. Harmon deep down the field finds Brennan Carvin right here. A 47-yard scamper for the score. The Indians' offense just never really able to find a rhythm. Nelson Brown able to pick up 15 hard-earned yards right here, but just too little of him on the day. As the drives, there's too many turnovers for YI. One right here gets picked off by the Lions' defense. Queen Anne's ends up taking this thing. 32-7 the final. And I got to say, impressive win for Queen Anne's. You got to say something for them. But the wheels, they're starting to fall off this YI team. I mean, Nelson Brown, like I said, he's one of the best players in the conference. He's starting to get really wore down. I mean, he's dealing with some injuries right now. And the fact is that they just don't have that second threat. They can't really throw the ball at all. They're relying on the running backs a little bit too much. And that defense is seemingly can't get off the field. They're getting too tired. And I don't know if there are any bright spots here moving forward. I mean, they're running out of time.
I mean, I think also when we're coming back talking about the Queen Anne Lions, they only 1 loss on the season, are in running as one of the best teams in their conference. And before the season even started, the Lions had their doubts, their young O-line, but have clearly overcome them all. Huge win for them. And it was quite the week, Spencer, and it's only the beginning. Remember, we want your input. Follow us on Twitter. I love Twitter, and I know we would love all of your tweets. So go ahead and hit that follow button, and while you're out there, go like our Facebook page.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone but Coach Phipps. If you don't want to tweet us this week, that'd be great. As well, we're going to go and take our first commercial break, but don't go anywhere because on the other side, it's more high school football. How do the Clippers look against North Carolina? Find out next.
I'm Steven Carlson. I'm a tight end for the Eastern Warriors, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.